I'm really excited about the songs that we've written, and this whole process has been probably the most pleasurable recording experience we've ever had. Everyone's really relaxed, getting along well. It's been really good experience.
We're all pretty focused and just really enjoying, making music with each other. Like, we're having fun writing songs, and I've said the word fun a lot, haven't I?
Nick and I obviously, we grew up together.
That's my brother.
And I suppose I got a lot of my my influences, musical influences from him. And Cam and Nick had met at high school, and so I met Cam through Nick, and we were pretty much thick as thieves before I knew it, and that's kind of where it all started. I think when we started playing music together is to me where it all began.
For whatever reason, this style of music that we had known and loved for so long, it had all of a sudden come back into vogue, and we were right there at the right time to pounce on that opportunity, and it was a really exciting time.
And then someone sort of comes along and wants you to put a record out, and you go, sure, why not?
There was a sort of gradual build-up in the way that, we weren't cruising around in big buses or anything. We were in vans with a trailer and loading in by ourselves. And so that was, I look back at that, that's one of the best times in my life, actually. Yeah.
It just started kicking off in sort of the end of 2003, started 2004, and it went through the roof, and it just didn't stop. It didn't stop climbing for so long. It was insane. It was an insane ride.
Radio play in the US, it's one of those things when you come from Australia, the idea of American success seems a fair way away.
It ended up selling 4 million records, something like that.
And then as soon as that happened, everybody wanted a piece, and I don't think I slept for 2 years.
I first saw Jet at Live Aid in Canada. A giant stadium stage and 68,000 people freaking out with a band that was opening for an artist like Motley Crue. They could also play with Oasis. They could also play with the Rolling Stones. It wasn't about chart success or awards. It was about what they do.
I think the first album was just naive and fun. The second album was us trying too hard.
It was really dark, the album cover was black, and it was, our father had passed away, mine and Nick's, but it was really difficult to kind of have a really free and exciting atmosphere in the studio.
It was a pretty strange time, having everything in your life go as well as you could ever possibly have imagined it to go, and at the same time, obviously the single most devastating moment of our family's life, and absolutely 100% reflected in the music at the time. Bad times, but look at me now, I look fantastic.
It's just really free and fun this time, and we're kind of more in control of our own destiny. It just sounds like we don't give a shit, and that's kind of how we are. We all live in different countries. It's just really stupid now that I'm saying that out loud, but so we all go away and write and come up with the basic ideas.
I think it was really like a conscious idea to move away from each other. I just thought, oh, that's a good idea, I'll go live in London, and we were like, oh, well, we'll get together when we've got to tour again, or we'll get together when we have to record. And it wasn't a huge problem until actually we did go to start the second record, and we're like, shit, being apart, it did present itself as a bit of a problem. So success seems to take people apart. And I think after the second record didn't go quite as well, it just sort of pulled us together again,
The band's always been extremely democratic, and this album more so than any other had everyone sort of rose to the challenge and contributed in equal parts.
Capturing, us four guys and having that in the recording, and that's what Chris Frenchie had talked about.
This is Frenchie. And is there a little white thing that says Frenchie here now?
You're a real artist or you're not. And these cats are all 24 karat rockers. They are the real thing.
Frenchie was great. He's different kind of species, you know. He worked every day for 3 months, didn't take a day off, couldn't take a day off, or wouldn't take a day off. You know, it's not about dollar signs for him. It was about making something great and having fun doing it, you know. And there's not many people like that around, you know.
No one's going to know better than the band, and so they're very involved in this process all the way through as their co-producer of the album.
We like said, we're going to co-produce, we're going to have our finger in every pie, and having control over the music was a definite must. You know, after making 2 records, yeah, so like we're ready, you know. So.
We just kind of got to a point where we're like, look, we've made 2 records and we consider, you know, our growth to be pretty immense between the first and the second one, and I think we're ready to kind of go where we want to go and do what we want to do.
You get your whole life to write your first album, and then your second album you get a couple months. And now we're on our 3rd, we just did it, you know, we just started doing it. We didn't think about it, and we're not, you know, we're co-producing this time, which, you know, it's a lot more accountability and a lot more pressure and, you know, a lot more work. But I think that brings you back into your craft, you know.
The one pivotal sentence that I could say is that this record feels like a band's first album.
Well, there's a song called Goodbye Hollywood, which is obviously kind of written about just getting out of that routine we were in and being out LA and doing it with the other producer and just sort of striking out on our own, you know.
Black Heart's on Fire. When I started writing that song, it was like about a fictional character. It was this guy who is talking about what he would do if he had all the power in the world. Reminds me, probably more so than anything else on the record, of Get Born and the first album.
There's another one with me called Killed in Action, or k.i.a. We had this crazy day where we had the UT drummers come in and do this stuff on it, and then afterwards, like 34-year-olds and 7-year-olds and stuff come in and just scream it, and all the parents, it was crazy. We gave them pizza, they're all sorted.
She's a genius. She's a genius. And I remember, and this song sort of started to bubble up in my head, and it started to kind of grow on me, this little riff. Like, so I had to kind of get out of bed and go and finish writing it one night. And it's talking about the genius of women.
We've probably all got our favourites. Like Eddie's one piece of work.
My gut is telling me that this is the best work we've done, you know. And part of why I'm really excited is that we're totally involved in every facet, you know, from the artwork of the album to the, you know, we just wanted to take it all back and do it for ourselves, you know, by ourselves.
They make music that transcends borders. It's like currency, and they have an opportunity to transcend borders again. And the appetite for Jet's new music is voracious.
We've come out with something that I think we're all ultimately very proud of, and I can't wait to tour it.